right, so let's do it. Let's start off with one, and I'm going to start this with Travis Hunter is my first blue chip player at cornerback. Now, out of Colorado, 6', 188. He's a true playmaker, man. He plays receiver, so he has great ball skills. Okay. One of some of the best ball skills I've ever seen in my life watching football. This is high praise as far as watching NFL and college. Charles Woodson is the only guy that's better that I have seen.
I don't think he's better. I think this is the best.
Really?
The best.
That Charles he's better than Charles Woodson?
He's better than Charles Woodson. Hey, Charles Woodson played receiver sparingly. This guy's a receiver all the time.
Yeah.
This is where it's different. I'm sorry, continue. Keep going.
Look, he has no panic in his game. Doesn't get scared with the ball in the air. Great recognition when it comes to zone. He comes off receivers very smooth, able to read the quarterback's eyes, great instincts as a player. He's a little bit grabby at times. He needs to work on that on the next level. Loose hips. He has all the physical tools. This whole notion that do you feel like he's slow for his size?
I don't think he's slow, but I don't think he's like 4'3". I think he's like high 4'3". He's like, let me rephrase. If I was to guess, and I did guess, I would think high 4'3s, low 4'4s. That's his speed.
Yeah. Which is not slow.
Look, there's really not much we disagree about, so I actually wanted to take this time to do a fun exercise. And I think we should kind of have a debate of the merits of where to take him. I know it's a corners, but I'll take the wide receiver side. You can take the cornerback side.
Okay.
And tell me why you should make him a corner. I just want to say my cons. He lacks strength. He's a small, slender guy. If I had to stick him on Mike Evans or the bigger receivers, T. Higgins, I would be afraid a little bit. And I will say this. He's good in man, but I almost just want him to play zone so I can see those ball skills go nuts. Because that's when he's at his best, when you can let him dissect.
And you can stick him anywhere, by the way.
Correct. If you want to stick him in the slot, he's willing and able tackler. Mm-hmm. He's a top 5 pick. Comp, I don't know. Derek Stingley, Charles Woodson, I don't know. I've never seen a guy like this. You have to factor in the wide receiver stuff because it's like, to me, Will Johnson's better than him right now as a corner. This guy doesn't. If you just said, "Hey, Travis Hunter, you're only a corner," he'd probably be like a 99 overall prospect at the athletically. Like you have to consider, he doesn't get time to just focus on being a corner.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take receiver. You take corner. Tell me why you should draft him. Make your case.
Look, the whole corner thing, him being strictly corner, I think he's a pretty damn good corner. And I think it's pretty close with him and Will Johnson. And we have to go through this process. Like he does have room to grow in corner. That's something to consider. Now, is it to the aspect of a wide receiver? No. I completely agree when someone says the ceiling for him as a wide receiver is massive. He has so much more.
Well, don't make my case for me.
I know.
Make the case for corner. No, don't sell me.
But the fact that he has so much potential as wide receiver, because I just do think he needs to work on things as a receiver. And it's more chance of injury because he does have the small frame. It's going to hurt him. So to me, if you want to go to safe pick, as far as him giving the highest like chance to hit on this pick, like if you're the Patriots and you're kind of on him, you start him at corner. I think he's going to be an all-pro corner.
Well, I just disagree. I think we have to play him at wide receiver. I think wide receivers have a bigger impact on the game.
Very true.
And we know he can be special at it.
Very true. But I look at what's easier to find.
It's easier to find wide receivers. It's tougher to find corners, but it's also harder to hit on corners. He might not be a great corner. We don't know. Maybe I think for sure. I know day one he'll be a great wide receiver. I don't know day one he'll be a great corner. Yeah. And I'll say this: with the ball, give him the ball in his hands, let him take some screens. He'll be dynamic. Now, I agree with you about the frame. It hurts us as a receiver. It's better to play corner. But I think impact-wise, for our team, we have, let's just say Drake May. We got to give him an alpha dog wide receiver. We have a chance to draft maybe our version of Jamar Chase.
So let's talk about, we kind of skipped this in the wide receiver because we didn't watch him as the corner. What's your expectation when you do draft? You're a GM. And you're
I'll give my receiver expectation. I think it's like 1,300 yards as a
okay. Top. Does he play corner?
No, he's playing. No, I'm saying if I draft him, he's wide receiver.
You don't play him at corner
for this exercise. He's a wide receiver.
Okay, but do you as you're the head coach?
Few snaps a game. I mean, we have a package, but I feel like it's easier to work him into a package on offense than defense.
So wouldn't it make more sense to play him full-time corner?
But for the sake of this argument, I'm wide receiver, so I'm going to just say this isn't really what I think. I'm just saying that like, you're so stupid. No. I'm making him wide receiver. Well, I'm not going to risk our number one receiver on defense.
Okay.
Because we've seen how big an impact the Bengals draft Jamar Chase, not Penei Sewell. They go to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. It's great to have the quarterback, but the quarterback needs what? The guy to throw to.
A weapon.
Yeah.
I get you.
I can't tell you. So you trust him on the island against these big guys?
I trust him. Okay. I think I'm a little bit. I think I'm a lot more higher on him as a corner because your tier list, Will Johnson and him aren't on the same tier.
Same tier, yeah.
I have him in it as a different tier. I think a lot more highly of him as a corner. The wide receiver stuff just does scare me a little bit because I do think he needs some work. He does.
That's how I feel about corner.
Yeah, we feel a little bit different. And to me, if you want to put him in at wide receiver and you have the infrastructure to do it, do it. I don't think he works out if you put him on the Raiders and you stick him at wide receiver.
Well, hold on. The Raiders are a different case. They'll ruin anybody. So let's pick a real team like the Browns. No. I would say this. I think if he's going to play both ways, it's going to be primarily as a corner with a package on offense. You can't be like, oh, you're playing mostly offense, and we'll give you a few plays.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's stupid. So, no, I appreciate the exercise. I think it's fun. I'm glad we can have this discussion about, like, we're never going to have this discussion ever again, probably about a player coming out in the draft. Yeah. So, no, personally, I think he's a corner. I would put him in corner. But
you do say that he has legendary stamina.
He does.
Is there just no shot in hell that he does what he was, not necessarily what he was doing in college?
No, I think so. I mean, I was just being like that for the sake of the argument. Yeah. I think he's going to play corner, and we'll give him 10 snaps, 15 snaps, maybe 20 snaps a game on offense. I don't think.
What if we bump that up? What if we give him 50% of the snaps on offense? And
maybe, we just can't do 90. We can't do 100 and 100.
Do you think he can do it though?
I don't know.
Clearing out. I'm not betting what you have heard.
I'm not betting on anyone doing that at the NFL level.
For what reason?
It's just too hard. It's just too much to ask anyone.
Yeah.
He could do it the best, but I wouldn't want to do that because I think it's going to result in burnout.
If you have a chance, what would you put the percentage? 0? None?
What?
For him to play
50%
of the snaps on offense.
Let me give you my ratio. Oh, that.
And then full-time corner or vice versa.
I would think the ratio is, if let's just say he's a corner primarily, you're getting 30% snaps.
What would you do? Not what you.
Well, no, that's what I would do. I'd like 30, 35.
You would not play him.
Playoffs, big games, we're going up to 50.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. My second question.
Hold on. We can't do it the year one. The year one we have to be smart about. If we're gonna up it, no. I'm saying his body could develop too. Like get in the weight room. Now you're just a full-time athlete. You know that's what I'm saying. So it's I mean, look. I remember asking him, like, is there a world where he's just not good enough at either and he'll drop like Isaiah Simmons? No, that's not. I think that's completely wrong. He's a top 3 pick.
Yeah. He's a generational talent when it comes to him as a prospect.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not wrong. Like, he's good at both. Like, I'd say he's above average at both.
I think he's elite in corner. I think he's an all-pro corner. That's my opinion of him. I have him as a 87.5 grade. It's the highest grade that I have done so far as a corner goes.
I think we need to work on our grades because, like, I look at other people's grades and I'm like, oh man, we're low, but we still are high.
Yeah.
Like, we're just rushing judges.
Yeah, but my comp for him was a little bit slower. Darius Slay with Charles Woodson ball skills as a corner. Just as pure corner.
I got 88.5, top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Go ahead and draft him.
So my next question will be, who do you think the team is, if you had a bet on it, to do the unthinkable, to do what everyone thinks you can't do? Really?
Your dumb team. Let's ruin them. No. I honestly, I don't know.
That's fucked up, man. I thought you were dead serious about that. I was gonna put my head down in shame, like start thinking about it. Like, fuck, we're gonna fuck up Travis Hunter.
You are. You will.
Oh, he's not gonna make it till 6. I don't think so.
I hope he does, so you can ruin him. No, I hope not.
He's not. He's not gonna make it. Till 6.
I honestly, if I'm the Browns, I take him over Abdul Carter.
I would just love him for the Giants. I think the Giants will be really good for him. I know.
I
know.
I don't want him to go within a 10-foot pole of Russell Wilson and
yeah. I know people want to fucking say like the Giants suck and they're far away and blah 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 blah.
I'm just saying like it'd be fine. I really want him to go to the Patriots. I think Patriots will be great for him.
I don't think he's gonna get his full potential with the Patriots.
Why?
I think they're gonna keep him in a box.
Why?
Because I think they're gonna have the mentality of you got to pick a position, dude. And they're going to probably stick him at wide receiver. And they're just going to let him do that.
You don't think the Giants will do that? They were old school too.
I don't think so. I think they're going to have more balls, Dable, and the whole...
Because they're so ass on the line?
Yes. And I feel like we got to try something crazy.
What about Cleveland?
I would like Cleveland in a sense where you put them in at full-time corner. I mean, full-time corner, halfway corner. Just because you have Denzel Ward, you have a really good corner already, and play him full-time on offense. I think that scenario would work. But I think on the Giants, it'll be vice versa.
I get you. I don't know. I think this is a
because you have Malik. So it's not a big deal if you don't have him out there. But I'm telling you, I'm just going to go into my opinion because I didn't say it. What I would do, I think it's going to be impossible to play this guy those 20 minimum snaps, or we're going to keep him 15, 10, because you're going to put him at full-time whatever side, right? You're going to say, we're going to put him full-time wide receiver, full-time corner. Then you're going to see him on the other side of that. And you're going to be like, how the fuck do we keep this guy off the field? We keep on scoring points. We keep on getting first downs. We got to play him more. And it's just going to turn into a thing where it's going to be impossible to keep him off the field. And myself, I would try it. If I'm in a situation as Dable, if I'm in a situation as Joe Shane or Show, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy that drafted Saquon,
yeah,
I would do it.
He's a Raider fan, guys.
I would do it. Al Davis would have done it. If you had a bet, if Al Davis was still alive, Al Davis would have did that shit.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
So you gotta
we need a little bit more Al Davis. The NFL's funner when Al Davis is.
So my whole thing is fucking do it.
All right.
Do it.
All right.
Big dreams, everything.